If you're someone who loves social media, you also want to scale a business and you're into fitness, this is an episode you must listen to and you also need to share. Today I'm joined by Anthony, who's a great friend of mine who's from Peru. He has the biggest fitness business in South America. He posted his first YouTube video 15 years ago. He's got over 2 million followers on Instagram. He's got nearly 3 million followers on YouTube. We're going to deep dive in terms of how he scaled his business, how he built his audience, the mindset around to do that, and some secret frameworks he uses with his content to get more leads, make more money. So let's get into it. Now, I have one huge favor to ask before we get into this. 90% of people who watch the podcast aren't subscribed. So if you can't do a massive favor, subscribe and then comment below the biggest thing you took away in this podcast. So Anthony, first question I want to ask you, you obviously grew up in Peru. I was actually looking on your YouTube channel. The first video you made was a long time ago.
2011.
Yeah, it was wild. So it's 14, 15 years ago.
14 years ago.
You must have been one of the first people in your country to post content online. And what instigated that for you initially?
I was the first in all Latin America, yes, because I really enjoy training because I was very insecure about how I look and I had a lot of acne, a lot of fat, okay? So I start training because, okay, I cannot control my acne, but I do have control with my body fat percentage. I have muscle, okay? So I start training and then I start, reading a book, Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Yeah, Robert Kiyosaki.
Yeah, Robert Kiyosaki. And that book, I read an advice in that book that says, right now everyone is telling to everyone, you can make a lot of money doing what you love. So, but in that moment in my life, in that city, because it was a small city in Peru, it was a wow moment for me because I never heard that advice, not even from my parents, for my teachers, everyone. So, okay, I do really love training. I want to make a lot of money of it. But when I start analyzing the personal trainers in my city, the good personal trainer make around $300 to $400 each month. Okay, that's not the path because in the book it says that you can make a lot of money, right? So okay, I need to start searching. Okay, what path is available to make a lot of money into fitness? So then I watching videos in YouTube. I watch a lot of content creators back in the time. For example, from UK, I saw Rob Riches. I saw Steve Cook.
Yeah, Steve Cook's OG.
Exactly. From Canada, Vince Del Monte, Ben Pakulski. So a lot of content creators, but in the English market, right? Not once in Spanish, okay? But I know that in Spanish markets, always copy the English market are doing, but with a few years of delay. So, okay, I will do that, uploading video as these content creators in English, but eventually it will make money, right? That was my first steps.
Did you have, so one of the biggest things that stops people being successful with that is they're afraid of what people will think of them posting content online and making videos. Did you ever have that and how did you overcome it?
Yes, because I was very insecure because how I look. More, I was thinking, okay, what do the people think if they saw me making videos, giving tips, advice? But, okay, I start question to myself, okay, what do I need to pay attention? Okay, the people or keep poor. When I realized these two things, okay, I want to become rich. I don't give a fuck about them. That's why I don't ever stopped for creating content. Even the first 3 years, I didn't make any money, but because I knew deep in my heart that this was the path, because in that moment, I saw Steve Cook doing videos, looking great, make a good living of it. So I say, this is the path, okay, but I need to keep going without caring about what the people think.
So you said something that's fascinating. It took you 3 years before you made any money.
Yes, exactly. Because back then in South America, the people didn't buy services or products using internet, using credit cards, because they were afraid that the people will scam. I don't know. Mm-hmm.
So this is also funny because a lot of people say that there's a trust recession in marketing now,
Mm-hmm.
but even in English markets in like 2001, 2002, people were afraid to use a credit card online because they thought they were going to get scammed or whatever.
Uh-huh.
So I think that's an interesting thing to bring up. But also you kept making content for a long period of time,
Yes.
which most people would post content for 2 weeks, nothing happens, and then like, oh, it doesn't work. What made
Yes.
you different?
I was afraid to grow poor.
Okay.
I was afraid. I would rather die than keep poor. That was my mentality. I need to become rich. I need to make a lot of money in my entrepreneurship, because I was watching my parents in that moment. My father born in 1935, and he was still working. He was in that moment 70 around years old, working, always with the difficulties of money. So I didn't want to myself, okay, I need to go all in. That's why the most important thing for the entrepreneur, that they say that they want to make a lot of money and they need motivation. They need to realize that, okay, if you need motivation to make money, you probably won't make any money. And that's the truth, right?
100%. Because if you can't work out that if you don't do the fucking work,
Yes.
you're going to be in the exact same position, just 20 years older.
Exactly.
And then the biggest pain you will have then is regret. Because I bet, and it's the same thing for me, I bet the thing you are most grateful for is that you 15 years ago, when you posted that first YouTube video, you just kept going for the first 2-3 years. Because there was probably a lot of times you're like, oh, I don't know whether I should keep doing this, but I'm just going to keep doing it anyway.
Yeah. In fact, I remember when I was uploading my first video, I have a video of that moment. I was recording in selfie, saying like this, right now I am uploading my first video in YouTube. I will become rich one day, and this video will seen by millions of people. That was my belief. That was a declaration. In that moment, I also promised to my mother, she was in the video, my mom will become successful. Okay. But I was very passionate, and I really believe in myself that I can do it. And this was the path, the only path.
So you mentioned as well that the book from Robert Kiyosaki triggered this. How did you first get the book?
I was at the university. I was studying engineering. I was a very applied kid. So the professor one time asked for a volunteer. I raised my hand. Okay, he gives me a book. Okay, I saw a book, Rich Dad Poor Dad. Okay, I need to study that book in 1 week. I need to explain to my classmates. So that was the first time I read a book. In fact, I was a very good student. The teacher told me that if I continue a good student, he will get me a job with $2,000 each month. Okay, I can earn $2,000. So okay, $300 as a personal trainer, $2,000. It was a very interesting. In South America, you can live very good with $2,000. But I knew, because the book told that you can make a lot of money with your passion. That's why I kept
So then the transition from then, obviously, you first started making some money online. Your social media started to grow. What was the point where you suddenly saw like the big growth? Because what you've got over
2017, 6 years later, bro. 6 years later, because in the beginning, okay, I was creating content, but also I was selling books door to door, okay, in Iquitos, in my city. Because I was thinking, okay.
Fitness books?
No.
Or just books?
Encyclopedia?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I was thinking in that moment that one path also to make a good living in fitness is with a gym. But, okay, then I realized, no, unless you have a lot of money and that's not your main business. Okay.
Passion.
Yeah. Uh-huh. That's why I was selling books door to door in that moment. And took me 6 years to realize that, okay, I can make a lot of money. In that moment, in 2017, I opened my gym, because opening a gym also was my dream, okay? So I started my own gym in 2017. Mm-hmm. But with the pandemic, stopped everything, and I realized, okay, my online fitness coaching makes a lot of money, a lot of profit, and this gym give me less money, almost no profit, and a lot of headache. It was painful. So, okay, it's obviously I can do more online coaching than the gym.
What would be your advice to someone who's a gym owner who just listened to what you just said?
If you have a lot of money and you have different money income, okay, income, yeah, you can do it if it's your passion. But if it's not the case, okay, and you are making money and fast as possible, you need to do online coaching. It's easier, it's faster, it doesn't require a lot of people, okay, and you can scale quickly.
So you've built one of the biggest Latin American online fitness businesses. What were the biggest things you've done to do that?
One of the biggest things.
What's the biggest moment in that?
There was different moments. For example, in 2015, I compete once in my life in main physique. In that moment, I record to myself all my preparation, and I create a program with the workout plan, the nutrition plan. In that moment, it was a new thing. Right now, everyone is doing it, right? But in that moment, it was completely a new thing. In that competition, there was 5 competitors. I was one of them, and I was the number 3. So I was a very bad. Okay, I was normal, regular physique. But all the competitors in that competition, I remember, that told me that they are broke and they are surprised that I was making money despite that I didn't win, right? But I knew, okay, that I can sell the programs, and because I have the attention, if you have the attention, you have the money. They don't have the money. They only care about the medals.
Plastic trophy.
No, plastic trophy. They don't understand that if nobody knows about you, you will become poor.
This is so funny because a similar thing happened to me in 2018.
You compete also?
Yeah, and badly. So I came like 3rd multiple times.
Okay.
So like I was not a career I was destined for. So I think what's interesting is I started making content 2016 to 2018 a lot, but it was very new in the bodybuilding world. Like people were like, who is this young kid who's making video content, filming stuff? and I kind of got a lot of flack for it. But then like 10 years later, all of them are then trying to do it suddenly because they now see, but I could see before they
exactly.
could see. Same thing for you.
Same, exactly. I remember I saw your videos when you were training in England.
King's Gym, I think you said.
King's Gym, yeah. Hauling shit.
Yeah.
The big guy. Yeah. I saw that.
Yeah, me and him trained together quite a lot.
So you started back then.
I started back then and filming a lot of content. I think it's interesting because me and Mike talk about this a lot. The reason we did very well at the beginning is everyone was shooting like an iPhone 6.
Yeah.
And then we started using like digital cameras.
Okay.
Before anyone else. So our content was way better than everyone else's.
Yeah.
And I would just post way more than anyone else. So I think, you said about it took you 6-7 years. I just brute forced my way in by just doing a lot of volume, like really, really.
How many posts a day?
I think for like 2-3 years, I was doing 3 a day.
3 a day?
Yeah,
okay.
Like a lot.
In that moment was a lot.
Yeah, a lot.
A lot.
It was kind of easier in some respects then because it was like image caption or like sometimes like infographic stuff. But I found that generally the more I posted, the more success I got, or I posted a lot of like client results. And I think the market has changed a lot since then.
You get the credibility
from authority. So in my opinion, there's only 3 types of content you should make. It's social proof, trust, and authority.
Okay.
So like those are the kind of 3 pillars.
And what do you think about the connection content that people knows about?
Yeah, so that's like the trust. So that's like personal things and like things that aren't super scripted. So like just talking to a camera and being like open and personal. I personally see a bit of a shift now where I think content is going way more that way because everything is getting so manufactured because of AI scripted stuff. So the other thing, I had a gut feeling this would happen as well, is that carousels and images would get more popular again, which is happening because like I don't like reels, but I like images and captions.
Why don't you like reels?
It's like...
You feel stupid?
Literally. I feel like my brain is getting rotted by watching it. And even I said to Mike the other day, it's like, I hate planning content because I don't want to go through reels because I feel like it's making me more stupid. If that makes sense.
Bro. Exactly.
Because the smartest people in the world...
That's why I told you it's stupid.
Yeah, because like the smartest people in the world are designing these platforms to like pull you down certain ways. And that's why I think a lot of people don't have control of their own minds now.
The majority of the people.
Yeah. Cheap.
Exactly.
With your strategy in terms of from a business perspective, was there a limiting belief you had to overcome from like being in Peru and making the money you make now? So you make millions of dollars every year, you've got massive social media audiences.
Definitely was a big moments in my life because in Peru, I am the biggest content creator. So every fitness influencer, personal trainers always asked me for advice. Okay, when you have that reality, you think that you are in the top of the game, okay? That's why I really love being here in Dubai. In fact, I really loved being in a city that I need to grow more to be more, okay, he is that guy. I really love that. That's why, for example, I was living in Iquitos, a small city. I need to go to Lima because in Lima, in Peru, that's the only city, well, the main city that the fitness industry is working, right? So I think the first time I broke my beliefs was when I went to Colombia. In Colombia, is next to Peru, and there is a supplement business. I remember ProScience. I was recording with a professional camera, but then they was recording with 3, 4, 5 professional cameras. So, okay, I am not at the top of my game. I need to upgrade. That's why I have a lot of professional cameras, a big team. So that there was additional moments to that always breaking limiting beliefs.
Now, I'm not going to sound like Stephen Bartlett, but I know a lot of people coming onto our podcast and who are not subscribing but still enjoying the content. If I have one small ask from you, it's please hit the subscribe button. It'll help us a lot. Do you think that one of the reasons people aren't successful is because they have like arrogance and kind of ignorance. So like you mentioned, like you think you're top of the game.
Yes.
And then you see something, you're like, oh, I'm actually like here.
Yes.
But I know you. I know you personally because I know you well. But for me, I find that inspiring because, like, well, if I'm here and they're there, it means I can go up there as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. But most people don't like that. They want to feel, okay, I am the best, but in a small city, a small reality, right? You become more successful because you are now living in Dubai and you are growing because you are more successful now than you were in England, right? That's why you are in an environment that you need to grow. Yeah. Exactly. Push you to grow.
Well, it's like osmosis. It's like an English word, like being together. So like, for example, you're the best trainer in Peru, right? If I was, or like the biggest online fitness person in Peru, South America, if I was in the UK, you and me aren't meeting. We're not having conversations.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
That's the difference because you can say one thing to me and I was like, oh, that's a good idea. And I can say things to you like, oh, I had no idea about that. And that happens every single day, which is why you can learn faster and faster and faster.
Exactly.
With your business, was there sticking points in terms of, you mentioned you had a big team for content creation. Like how was that challenging for you to build out, or did you have experience from running the gym before? Because this is something a lot of people are afraid is having a team.
For the content creation, I do the scripts for my content. So no team for that function. But the biggest challenge for me was finding good editors. Because I think in Europe, in the first world countries, there are good videographers, editors, right? But in Peru, it's not common. That's why maybe you don't know too much about famous Peruvian content creators, right? So that was a big challenge for me, finding good editors. That was the main thing.
And then as you've built the business, who else do you have in the business now? You have a bigger team?
Yes, I have personal trainers, nutritionists, a sales team, closer setters, engineers that they developing the app, and designers. Okay, yes, that's my team.
It takes a lot of like self-development to get to that point. So like a lot of people who would listen to that would be overwhelmed or afraid about having all these people to manage. Is that something you ever had, or you just saw it as a natural progression?
It was a full-time job, but also a natural progression. At the beginning, I did everything, but eventually, okay, I need some time to follow up the clients, the workout plans, everything. So I need to hire a person, an editor. Okay, so first step. Then, okay, I need a personal trainer. Okay, then a nutritionist. Then, so step by step.
What was the biggest mistake you think you made in that?
The biggest mistake was a lot of mistakes, because one time I heard from Gary Vee. He say, hire fast, fire faster, right? Hire fast, fire faster. I apply that. I fire a lot of people from my team. Obviously, everyone thinks that they are the best, but in fact, they have a good resume. But when they are working, they distract too fast, and they not as good as they say. It's really okay. So that's why I fire faster.
I would agree with that. So from my own experience, often
you have a big team also.
Yeah. So like 30 plus. At one point we had 60. It was a lot. So the difference I see is people look great on paper, and then you hire them, they're not good. But often the ones who I'm like, I'm not sure, but I'm just going to hire them anyway, are the ones who are good. Because some people are good at interviews and look good on paper, but when they start, they're terrible. And I think that's an important lesson for people to listen to from my own experience, is that when you hire people, I've never had someone start badly and then end up good. Like if someone starts and they're not good, then they never end up good.
Yeah.
So like you just need to cut them off like quickly.
In my case, my best team are the ones that know my story and they are very connected with my In your case, is the same?
Yeah, I worked for a long time. Like me and Mike, for example, have known each other since 2018. I had a full-time job in the UK where I look at suit and tie.
Okay.
So like a long time. So,
long time.
That creates a lot of trust and kind of relationships. Your brand is obviously very big on YouTube, Instagram, obviously on social media. Facebook. What's your strategy specifically with content? How do you think that's changed over the last few years?
I think the main thing right now is that we are not in the social media, we are in interest media. Okay, before you have a lot of followers, whatever your video is good or bad, it gets views, right? But now it's not the case. You need to make a good content to engage, because you will see by non-followers and followers. So I noticed that the last year I need to become more creative to engage the audience, but for that happen, I need to know who I am talking in that video, the interest, the desire, the pain. And for example, let's say before you can make a video, okay, 3 exercise for chest, okay, but that video doesn't work very well right now. So in Spanish is different, but I can say in a hook, if you're a man and you have tits, watch this. So the same thing, but different hook, and then the rest of the video is the same, but you
hook, like negative hook in the frame.
Yeah, exactly. An emotion. Okay, you need to create an emotion in your viewers.
So that, from my perspective, what I see is people have to be more psychologically triggered, good or bad,
yes,
to then get them to watch, which is actually probably why earlier that we talked about how social media is making people more stupid, because it's manipulating people psychologically, and
exactly.
The platforms know you, so they're showing you certain things to try and trigger you all the time.
And in fitness, I think is the majority of the people are more looking videos for memes, everything, right? I think in this niche in particular, you need to be very creative to engage your audience. Because I don't know in English, but in Spanish market, the people see a lot of memes, a lot of things that goes viral, but the content creator is not making money because they are only making jokes. They don't know how to make a living of it.
So, I said earlier about the social proof, trust or authority.
Yes,
that doesn't
exactly.
That does nothing.
Yeah, but they have all the attention. And there is a lot of people with a lot of knowledge, but they don't know how to create content. So that's why I think it's crucial that they learn how to create content.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite sayings is best known beats best. It's like you can be the greatest coach in the world, no one knows about you.
Yeah.
Like no one
exactly.
cares. So,
but what do you think about YouTube?
YouTube is like the best platform by a mile. Like if you can get someone to come to your YouTube channel, watch you, like I had a call yesterday with a client of ours. His whole business is on YouTube, makes $100,000 a month, American guy. He doesn't really do much on Instagram. I'm like, dude, like you've cracked like, the hardest platform.
Exactly.
Like this is difficult. Like whereas Instagram is like kind of more straightforward and predictable. YouTube is a longer game, like you kind of experienced, like 6-7 years. My personal opinion, I don't think people should start YouTube first because it can take a while. I think people should start on Instagram or short form platforms to make money and build an audience, and then maybe go to YouTube when you're making 20k a month, or unless you really like making
Doing
videos, or you're good on camera, because some people aren't good in long form video.
And there are people that also hates the short form content. They can also do YouTube videos, because in YouTube also apply the same principle of interest, not like only followers. Because maybe you notice that when you are in your YouTube, pop a video from God knows who.
And they're pushing smaller channels now.
Yeah,
as well.
exactly.
What would you, so obviously you've grown your YouTube to over 2 million subscribers. I was looking how many videos you've posted, is a lot. What do you think is the biggest lessons you've learned with growing your YouTube audience?
The biggest thing I learned, I think consistency.
You're going to say that. It's hard to know on what.
Because when I first uploading my first videos, 1 week after only got 100 views. And that was like my first 2 years. And then pop up my views. So that's why I think consistency is key for every platform.
So I can give you a good example for this. So the top 10 biggest podcasts in the world in English, I looked up on AI. The average length of time it's taken them to get to the position they're at is 9 years.
9 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is a long time.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people expect to make a YouTube video, a podcast, and then 3 months they're like Stephen Bartlett. It's like the reality is it's going to take a little bit of a while. I think Stephen Bartlett's was 9-10 years as well. Diary of CEO. So like a lot of them have been going way longer than you realize.
But maybe people are looking to those content creators and they think that they need a large audience to make a good living of it, right? What do you say to them?
I think that's completely changed the opposite from what it was.
Yes.
So now what you need is depth, not width. It's like I know a lot of coaches who...
Depth, you mean in a niche?
Trust, yeah, a niche, very specific. I can give a couple of examples. So we have a client who I'm speaking actually to later today, 2 Irish brothers who are farmers. They make $250,000 a month. Okay. Selling to farmers in Ireland, weight loss. In a very...
That's crazy.
That's wild, right? If you told me that, I wouldn't believe it. So there's podcasts with them so people can go and listen to it to verify it. But I also know I have other clients who've got less than 1,000, 2,000 followers who make $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a month. But then I also see other coaches I know who have got hundreds of thousands of followers a month who are personal trainers or don't make any money. Because there's a difference between being famous and having the ability to get rich from your social media or a business around it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. And do you think it's necessary that content creator have a sales team, or they need to learn first how to sell their own services?
In my opinion, if you want to be successful, you have to understand how to do everything yourself to a basic degree. So where I see a lot of people go wrong is, I can think a few people top of mind. I see content creators come in and they have an audience and then I would use the word arrogant and ignorant together, that they don't want to do any sales themselves. So they will try and hire someone and it doesn't work. And it doesn't work because you don't know how it works yet because you haven't tried it yourself. So my recommendation for everyone is that you go into like every job role within reason. So like coaching, closing, whatever, you do it yourself to like understand the small details. And then you can then get someone else to do it. So like the framework I would use for that is 3D. So it's like do, document, delegate. Like do it yourself, document how you did it, and then you can give it to someone else. Yeah. Because otherwise, if I hire you to take sales calls and you're like, yeah, these leads are terrible, I can only close 20% of them. I was like, well, dude, I was closing at 80%. These exact same people. Then I know it's just you're not very good, and I need to find someone else.
But you should expect a little drop. So like, compared you closing
100%. But then it's like in my own business, we have 10, 12 sales closers now. Like if I took every sales call myself, would we make more money? Yes.
But you will not have.
Yeah, it's physically impossible. So there's a trade-off, and that's why I see a lot of coaches get stuck. Normally when they're making between like 30 to 60K a month, because they don't maybe have enough leads to get a full-time closer. So my suggestion to people at that point is they get a hybrid role. So they have a coach who can take some sales calls and also coach, as you build up the lead flow, if that makes sense.
Okay.
But that's where a lot of people go wrong, because like what we recommend people do is sell high ticket coaching programs, in particular with AI and the way technology is going. And that's where you only focus on two things. So like booking sales calls and closing sales calls. So like you've got like loads of traffic. Okay, cool. So you can just keep this thing consistent and then focus on the other end, which is like operations, sales, data, and like the kind of business stuff, if that makes sense.
For example, in my case, I sell my high ticket, okay, but there are leads that doesn't qualify for that. In that case, I sell to them a low ticket. Yeah. In your case, do you think it's good to do that?
100%. I just wouldn't publicly advertise it.
Yes. So exactly.
Have you ever watched? Have you ever watched Harry Potter?
Yeah.
Okay, so in Harry Potter they have Voldemort, right? You're not allowed to say Voldemort's name, so we call it like the Voldemort offer.
Okay.
So like you don't advertise it publicly. So in my own fitness business, we had something called Shred and 8. It was an 8-week transformation program, and at one point I was trying to sell that on ads and then a high ticket thing. Now the problem we were getting, someone would come on a sales call, we would say it's $3,000. I'd be like, okay, that's cool. But I saw exactly. I saw this other program that's $47 a month, and then they don't pay the $3,000 because the $47. So like, it costs you so much money.
They got distracted by the low ticket.
So like, if you have that, you need to keep it behind closed doors and only push it to the right people.
Exactly.
That's a big mistake a lot of people make. My personal opinion is, and I'll get your perspective, is that with AI, I think a lot of the low ticket offers
will disappear.
Yeah. And like automated stuff. So it'd be more one-to-one and more premium. It's going to be a growing market, I think, but high prices.
You can use AI for, be more efficient for the high ticket, right? Because it's true. For example, those apps that charge you $9 a month, they can be out of business.
Oh, they're gone. But then you can also look at another perspective. So like, I have some clients, I will write their VSLs and their paid ads for them, because now I can do that really efficiently to like an insane level with AI. So they'll pay me to do that, and I can make sure it's like 10 out of 10. Whereas I couldn't do that a year ago because I'm not going to sit there and write a VSL script for you by hand. But I know how to use technology better than anyone else to do that, to get the perfect manipulative ad or script, so then it crushes. So for certain parts of the market, it's going to make it difficult, but then for other parts, it's going to make it easier. So from a marketing perspective, you can now use AI to not create marketing, but to create propaganda. Because, and I can give you how we do this. So we will get like sales call transcripts.
Okay.
We'll take all the data out of all the pain points. We will then get our best clients to create a complete, what's called an ocean personality test of the big 5. We take the personality test, the sales call data, and like the pain points, and then we use that to create ads, VSLs, all this type of stuff. And
content creation. Yeah.
Because it's manipulative to the specific person you want.
Yeah. Okay.
But this is what the platforms are doing to people, and they don't know yet.
Yes. And what do you think is always is good to use a VSL in a Typeform or similar programs, or you can, for example, use chat, and from there to a call?
So I would recommend the way we structure like a 12-month growth map for a client would be initially we'd focus on DM setting, and then you can get to like, I've got clients doing 100, 200K a month just off that. So you can do that to a very high level. The problem that happens with that, and I had someone have that today, they have too many new followers coming through. They can't message them all because Instagram will stop them. So this is where VSLs work well, because let's say you've got loads of traffic coming through organically or with boosting reels, you can run a VSL directly at that profile to book calls off of that with no humans involved, no team, literally add to call to close. That's it. That's like a more complicated strategy than the other one. But when you have that working, it's like all night, all day, 24/7.
Okay.
And it's just like a maths equation of how does this stack up? What's the bottleneck in the funnel, if that makes sense? So for example, I could say, it just comes down to like essentially the way I look at it then, particularly if you get a VSL and you run it at cold traffic, is you can buy sales calls. So say I want to get 10 sales calls a day, and I know my ads can get me sales calls that say $200 a call booked. Cool. I need to spend $2,000 a day to get 10 calls a day for my sales team just from these ads. And then that's where you can kind of like reverse engineer it back, and it's super, super, super scalable.
Okay. With cold traffic.
With cold traffic. So the retargeting works well, but you run out of an audience to market to. If you can get cold VSLs to convert, like it's infinite, because you've got person on the street to client, like in the journey. And we use something called Hyros to track the time of sale. So like click to come in client. On a VSL, it's like 2 days on average or something like that from like ad to payment. We have another strategy we run, which is like paid ad to like a free course or a lead magnet. That's like 25 days on average. Okay. Big difference. So there's a lot more nurturing in that one. But that would be my recommendation for everyone, is you start with like the DM side of stuff and some ads on that if you don't have as much organic traffic as you do. And then the VSL then comes on top of that, and then that crushes. It's that's how I see marketing is changing. Because also AI now, people know about setters, they think it's a robot, all this type of stuff. So if people are booking calls in themselves, it's a different mentality, if that makes sense.
Yes. For example, in my case, I do the content creation or the organic content strategy, but I have difficulties with the ads to call traffic. That's the main difficult right now. Okay,
what type of is it VSL ad you're running?
Yes. Right now it has stopped, but we are launching in a few days the strategy that is working right now. We have a website. In that website, there is the testimonials, the offer, everything, and with a button that goes to WhatsApp, to setter, and then to the call.
The second thing I would do with that is, are you running that on retargeting ads as well?
I will do that.
So retargeting is what you want to do first. So I would always test ads on like a warm audience and then go to a cold audience. That makes sense. But I can send you our VSL and you see what I mean, because it's like they can't even book a call for the first 2 minutes of the video. It doesn't let them. So like we want them to have had to watch the video.
Then the button appear.
So like it has a countdown of like 2 minutes, and then it lets them, because we want them to be warmed up and to kind of go through the video to get to the kind of point where you want to convert.
Did you use Vitalytics for perfection the video, or you go with the video?
We have editor. It took a lot of going back and forth. We have 2 variations of it, and it's really, really, really good. Because when you run a lot of traffic through it, it makes a big difference. So we spend like a couple of $1,000s a day on like traffic through that. So like a little difference. So for me, it's exciting, because we changed the video like 2 weeks ago, and it's making a massive difference. So that'd be interesting to see what happens. And I also I find marketing fun, because you're trying to like create this like Picasso of like a system that then just works kind of seamlessly, if that makes sense.
But you always changing the strategy, for example?
No, so like
I mean the video, the offer.
No, I keep the same. So like it depends what's broken. So we have some ads that have run for like 2 years, maybe.
2 years.
Like the same shitty black background, white text that crushes. And I've tried to like improve the copy in it, I just can't beat it. So that's run for a long time, and then we've run the same ads to the same free course for like 2.5 years. And it still works really well. So what has changed from a paid ads perspective is with the Andromeda update that was in October, November. What we're doing is we test a lot of different like avatars. So we'll create one graphic ad and we'll make 15 different variations. So like, say it was in fitness, it would be, I'm looking for 5 executive men. I'm looking for 5 successful men. I'm looking for men in Dubai who want to do this. I'm looking for guys who've just sold their business in Dubai who want to get in great shape, whatever, like different kind of like avatar. And then we just put it into an ad set and just let it rip, and it will just find what converts. Because the platforms now use AI so much. Facebook wants you to win, so you spend more. So they're trying to make it as easy as possible for ads to convert.
Interesting, brother.
But that's where, like, if you've got, and this is what I say to everyone, like a lot of people want to go, oh, I just want to run paid ads, I don't want to make organic content, or one or the other. If you have organic content and then you have paid ads, they spin off each other, because someone will come in from an ad and then
they start looking your videos.
Yeah, they'll watch this podcast maybe, and then they start to get into it. So
see or the testimonials in your
so like,
exactly.
Google has something called the 7-hour rule, where you
7-hour rule.
Yeah, where you want people to absorb 7 hours of content before they buy like expensive products. So like if you think that they're going to watch short form content,
a lot of
reels. But like we had a guy come and sign up work with us from Norway the other day, and he literally said, I followed you for like 2 years, and I just see you relentlessly all the time, constantly content and social proof. I was like, this must be legitimate at that point. And it's just like, you know, it's like similar to you in terms of like you made YouTube videos for 6-7 years. It's like sometimes people needed to see a lot, which is why my advice to anyone listening to this, and you can take from both of these conversations, is you just need to keep going. Most people quit way too early.
Exactly. The best clients, in my case, for example, are from Facebook. In Facebook, I upload long videos.
Yeah.
So
they're warm and they listen to you a lot, right?
Exactly.
How do you see content changing, do you think, in the next few years?
Because of AI, as you mentioned, right now, you need to be more real, right? More real, authentic. Yeah, that's the difference right now. Before what differentiates you from the other content creators, maybe the edition, the camera, but now the authenticity is the main thing. That connection. I noticed that when I make the most money because post and a story, it was when I share some authentic things.
Vulnerability?
Sorry?
Like vulnerability?
Exactly.
Yeah.
For example.
Why do you think some people are afraid to do that? Why are they afraid to be authentic?
Maybe they're thinking what the people think about themselves, about them, but they need to realize, bro, that if you want to make if you really want to make a lot of money, you need to apply these strategies. And one strategy is authenticity, be real. So do it, bro. If you really want to do it, want the money, you need to do it. So
that's my same opinion when people are like, oh, I don't want to make content. I was like, well, enjoy being poor.
Exactly.
I don't care. Like other people will, like you and me, and then we'll do really well. So like,
exactly.
Like it's the have yachts and have nots. Like just do the thing, and then you kind of get the result. And I think it's the same thing for fitness. It's business and fitness. I don't know if you agree, sit the same. In fitness, if you do the training, you eat the food, and you sleep,
you will get in shape.
You will get in shape. In business, there's the same process and plan. If you make the content, you create right systems for your business, you do it for long enough, eventually you will become successful.
Exactly.
Like it's exactly
sooner or later you will become successful.
And I think what some people struggle with is that they see people as overnight success. But like you took 6 years before your social media. I was posting content for maybe 4 years before I went full time. Like it wasn't overnight.
What keeps you going in that moment?
For me, I distinctly remember I was in a position where I had a 9-to-5 job, like in a suit and tie.
You hated that.
I was like, bro, I do not want to do this. Every single day, every single week was exactly the same. And I felt I had the ability for more. And I knew if I didn't back myself and I didn't do it then, at the age I was at, I would never be able to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So like if I was going to try and do that now at 36 and I've now got a 12-week-old daughter,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be harder than when I was 28. So I think people need to understand if you are young, and by young I mean like sub 30, probably sub 35,
Mm-hmm.
you need to do this as quickly as possible because it is only going to get harder the older you are.
Mm-hmm.
Because you've got more responsibilities, more distractions, and then the earlier you do it, like your YouTube that's been going for 15 years,
Mm-hmm.
that compounds for you
Exactly.
like, every single day.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and also the trainers that want to make a lot of money need to understand that they need to get in shape, bro. A lot of fat trainers trying to make money, they say that they know a lot of bodybuilding, but they don't look good in the social media. You need to be like, okay, he is looking good or she is looking good. But if you look normal, and normal I mean if you are fat, okay, nobody will pay attention to your videos.
Well, you have to stand out. For me, like something I would always, fitness to me is like the foundation of everything.
Mm-hmm.
So like that comes before business, because if I don't look after myself first, then I can't perform how I need to in from a business perspective. But like for me, if I go to, say for example, I remember this distinctly. I was in I was flying to the US to Las Vegas,
Mm-hmm.
and I got on the plane, and some American guy came up to me. He's like, "Oh, you're jacked. Like, are you a trainer?" Da, 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 da. Like, that's what you want.
Mm-hmm.
Like people were coming to me asking to try and become a fitness client.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't doing anything because your body is your billboard.
Exactly.
But most trainers don't realize this.
Mm-hmm.
So my business started to grow when I got in really good shape and
Mm-hmm.
competed, I think, the first time,
Mm-hmm.
and actually did a photo shoot because it forced me to get lean.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're trying to sell how to get abs and you don't have abs and you've never had abs,
Mm-hmm.
people know when you're selling a lie.
Mm-hmm. I understand why the fat trainers are angry, because they see fitness influencers that they don't have the knowledge, but they have the attention, and they are angry about that. I saw a lot of reaction videos.
Yeah.
They are reacting to fitness influencers. How do they are talking like this? This is wrong. I know because I have a biomechanics degree. Okay, it's good. It's good. You need to have the knowledge so you can help a client. But okay, instead of talking trash to that fitness influencer, you need to understand, okay, that fitness influencer have the attention. What should I need to do to have that attention? Okay, you need to be humble. You need to be, okay, the ego aside, and start, okay, what do I need to do in social media to stand out? Mm-hmm.
So a framework I would want everyone to take away from this is that a lot of people have knowledge, but very few people can apply knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the difference between theory and practice.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like Mike Tyson says, like, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face.
Yes.
So like it's like it seems like business plans. Like you set up a business plan. Like I don't believe in business plans really.
Mm-hmm.
You set up a business plan, nothing works, and you just have to kind of wing it.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing kind of like training and nutrition. I trained with like a lot of the best people in the world, and like often the people with the greatest physiques in the world are awful in the gym. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's terrible how bad they train. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, like he's Mr. Olympia, so I'm like what am I going to say? Like
Mm-hmm.
I came third in like a couple of bodybuilding shows and was terrible.
Yeah.
So like I think it's not what you know, it's what you can prove. And I think people should get qualified and have high levels of knowledge, but they should also focus on applying that knowledge on themselves.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And teaching the easiest way as possible. One tip for the content creation is imagine that you are teaching to a 66 years old child. Yeah, that's the way you need to think. Mm-hmm.
So I do this with everything we create. I try and make things retard proof.
Mm-hmm.
So like
Exactly. Retard proof.
yeah, like literally, like if you're a person of determination, could you understand this? So like an easy way for someone to do that on AI is, can you rewrite this so a third grade child could understand it?
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of people can't understand things clearly. Even someone who's maybe very wealthy and successful might not know what macronutrients or calories are. Like I've had clients pay me $10,000 to coach them for fitness and they've been worth hundreds of millions of dollars, they have no idea about like basic nutrition.
Yeah.
But like genius when it comes to like finance or business.
Even the name of the muscle, they don't know.
I have no idea.
Yeah, exactly.
If you ask them what's
your hamstring,
a quadricep, like steak cut, I don't know. Like, so I think simplify as much as possible. And one thing I also see I probably noticed more than ever recently, from a marketing perspective, make your offer really clear. Like, who do you speak to? Who's the exact person? What problem do you solve? What's the process? Like, I should be able to look at, like, I can go on your social media. I know exactly who you work with, what problem you solve. Some people I'm like, I don't really know what you do. Which is, I think, you said earlier about people who get a lot of views for humor content. People don't know that maybe they are even coaches.
Exactly.
What do you think with your social media at the moment? Is there anything in particular that you see working in terms of trends?
The authenticity, bro.
What would be an example?
One example. I am applying this in my stories. I start writing by hand.
Yeah.
And the people are really loving that. I realize, my followers are loving it because right now everything looks like fake, right? Too animation, too much AI. But when you handwrite and your reflections, your life experience.
Javi does this as well, right?
Huh?
Javi does this sometimes, right?
He sent
this.
audio.
Okay.
Audio. Yeah. But maybe yes.
Yeah.
I started writing since 1.5 weeks ago, bro. The engagement
And you put on your stories.
to the roof, bro, to the roof. So I am not saying that you need to write, but the thing that you need to understand is that you need to be active in stories, because stories, you can create a connection that you cannot create as much in your posts, in your feed. You need to use your stories.
What's your strategy for stories then?
That's the main thing right now.
So you're literally writing down things and then sharing it on stories?
For example, this thing, I will do a sequence of 10 stories, maybe today or tomorrow. But, for my audience, they don't know you.
Yeah.
Because you are from... Yeah. Okay. How can I make them interested in see a photo from us? I will start telling a story that, in very few words, I was living in Iquitos with a dream that one day I will become successful in the fitness industry. Then I go to Lima, my capital of my country. Then I move to Dubai. I make all my dreams become a reality. Then I have a reunion with a good group of friends that I meet you. And then you invite me to your podcast. But in that story, I say he is a reference.
Yeah.
Is a reference in the fitness industry, the personal trainers in UK, in Dubai, one of the top Gs in the fitness industry. So that's the strategy.
Yeah.
And then, I have a challenge, because in every story you need to create that emotions, right? Trigger emotion. In my case, one difficulty that I have is when you asked me to do the podcast, my brain was, fuck, I don't know how to speak English fluently, but I need to do it. So
your English is really good. So everyone should comment below. It's good.
Thank you, bro. So that's So there is a story, an emotion, a challenge, and I put your name in my audience. You are the top G in the fitness industry in UK, Dubai. So now I am in the palm, and wow, Palm Dubai. So that's that's a good strategy compared to just a selfie. I'm here with Charlie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you need to
narrative.
use very a strategy the stories.
Do you think so? One question I'd have for that is if you post more stories, your views go down. But are you not so concerned about that? You're worried about connection?
Same as the videos. If you have a 3 minute video compared to a 10-second video, the people will see more the 10-second video compared to the 3 minute video. Unless you are like Mr. Beast that can get the retention until the end. Same as the story, but you need to get better with the practice to, okay, I need to, for example, let's say you have an idea to create a sequence of stories. Okay, let's say you have six stories. Okay, you all the scripts you put into ChatGPT and ask to ChatGPT. Okay, and you start telling. Okay, I will do a sequence of a story. I want to tell this story, and I want you to help me improve the retention of this sequence of a story. If you need to adjust, add, or delete one story, do it without problem. But my first main focus is the retention and trigger emotions for with my followers. So that's the prompt, very simple, that I use for the story.
So you plan your stories out in ChatGPT as well?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. That's interesting. And then do you have a framework you use over the week, or is it different every day? You don't do like set things on days?
Different every day, depends on what is happening in my life. If I don't do anything interesting, I can share a testimonial because I always, when I have a before and after client, I ask them a video, or I send my team to their house so they can record them in their kitchen, with their family, at work, in their living room. So they start talking to them, and the client starts sharing a lot of insights that we didn't know how we impact their life, right? So because I have let's say a 1 hour video, I transcript that and I upload it to ChatGPT, and I say, I want to share a story about this client. This is the video transcript. I want to do a creative, okay, and start.
And it gives it to you.
Yeah.
So do you think it's easier than ever before because of AI?
Exactly, bro. You don't need a copywriter.
No, bro.
Yeah.
You know, I said earlier we had a big team. That's why loads of people have gone. And then if you're smart, you can be like the equivalent of 100 people because you know the right prompts, you've got the right information. It's like, I'll just voice note things into my phone and bang.
Exactly. You don't, but you need to be a master in communication.
Human psychology.
Yeah, human psychology. Because if you don't know that, how are you gonna prompt the ChatGPT?
Do you have certain strategies for your main feed in terms of what you do with content as well?
Yes, but I always see, let's say, the trends, but always focusing in my clients. Let's say if I saw a tutorial of squats, okay, I saw a tutorial of squats that is trending, okay, I took that and I start adding stories of my testimonials into that video. Let's say if you want to do a perfect squat in your knee,
yeah,
okay,
ankle,
get up,
yeah,
okay,
heel raised,
okay, you need to do this. This is the same problem that my client before photo was facing in that moment. We applied this same principle, and with the diet, she become like that. So in the middle of the video or at the end, I add those things, and that add me credibility also.
Is it similar to kind of like my framework for paid advertising? Like generally is like hook, unique mechanism, 2 client case studies, like CTA.
Exactly.
Generally the same.
But do you use advice, tips in your...
Yes, that'd normally be the thing after the hooks. Is like, so for example, if it was a business thing, so like if you're struggling to get your paid ads to convert, these are the 3 things you need to know about the Andromeda update. 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
This is the exact same thing that Mike did, the exact same thing that Charlie did that helped him achieve Y. If you want help doing the exact same thing, hit the link below. Something like that. It's the same framework that is over and over again.
And what do you think is a best strategy for a personal trainer that doesn't have testimonials?
So this is actually interesting because I rebuilt a whole program for beginners like over New Year, like locked myself in a room. You know, the room I had with no windows, like the headphones. I was like psychopath mode. And for me, what they should do at the beginning, one strategy we use is a giveaway. So you put on your stories that I'm doing a giveaway of a 3 months coaching program where I'll help you do X, Y, Z. You post it in stories, get people to like comment, enter. You then pick who you want to win. So someone who looks like they could get in good shape quickly, or they look like they have money. You coach them for a month. You can show their case study and social proof as you go. And the chances are, if you do a good job, after 4 weeks, they'll want to pay you.
Exactly.
And that's when the snowball starts. So once you've got one client, you can get another client. And then at the beginning, my advice is always over-deliver, because you've got loads of time. You haven't got any clients yet. So like you can message them every day. You can go above and beyond. And then it will start to like compound.
That's a good strategy.
And the second thing I would do is also, I'd use yourself as a case study, which is why if you're a fat personal trainer, you're kind of fucked. Because like, if I'm, and this is also like transparent if anyone listening to this, I can look at someone's business when they want to start, like, okay, if he's in great shape, I'm like, well, this is going to be kind of easier. Because like, even if you've got no social proof, I was like, well, you look like you know what you're doing regardless if you do or not, because like, you're like 220 pounds with abs. So like, you clearly know something. And like the average person on the street can also look at you and be like, well, he looks like a trainer. So I think
he can help me.
Yeah, it's the same thing, right? So it's like that thing of like, you don't take financial advice from someone who's broke, who's got no money, or business advice from someone who hasn't got a business. So I think that's really what I'd look at. And I don't know if you would agree with this, but business is really difficult because at the beginning is the hardest. And you have the least amount of resources, you have the least amount of skills, and you have like the least amount of
stress
network, and you've got the highest amount of stress. So if you can get the escape velocity to get out of that, you're good.
You're good.
But most people can't get past making $5,000 a month because of their mindset.
But they don't realize that when they are 50, 60,
choose your suffering.
Yeah.
So like you suffer now.
Suffer now or suffer later?
Suffer forever. So one of the reasons for that is people, and the same thing for fitness, are not willing to invest in themselves. Like I've spent $500,000 on education, coaching, mentors. I still have people fitness coaching me now. So like, I obviously know how to be in shape because I want to keep learning and improve. And I think there's a ignorance tax people need to pay down. And like, if you were going to be successful in building your own business, you would have already done it by now if you were just going to figure it out. So I think a lot of people need to like rip the Band-Aid off and just go all in. And there's a saying of like, if you want to be balling, then you've got to be all in. And most people aren't willing to be all in. And for me, like I had a big moment when I moved to Dubai. I ended up having to end a long-term relationship, like leave all my stuff in the UK. And I was like...
What year it was that?
The January the 6th, 2022.
2022,
and there's a savage story on this as well. So I'm like, 6th of January, I ended like a 10-year relationship.
Okay,
the day
10
after,
year.
Yeah, right. The day afterwards, I had to give away my house and like all my stuff basically.
Okay.
Day afterwards, my fitness business was making like $250,000 a month. My Instagram account gets disabled. Okay. So like my business is fucked. My personal life is fucked. I'm moving to Dubai. I'm in a hotel in UK. And I'm like,
you met someone here or?
Yeah, and I was like, this is so bad. This is so bad. This is so bad. And like, long story short, I didn't have my Instagram account for like 3 weeks, which it sounds stupid.
The anxiety.
But like when your entire business revenue is this, and you're making hundreds of thousands of dollars every month. And then back then I didn't have anyone who could just like get back. I kind of have context now. That was I learned a lot from that experience about when you're crushing it, you can get pulled down very quickly because I was probably getting a bit cocky. And then I also learned of why you need to kind of diversify. It's like for you, like if something happened to your Instagram account, like you've got YouTube still, like you've got multiple platforms.
Yeah.
I had done that already, so I was like, I'd worked out if my Instagram account, if I don't get it back, I'll still make money anyway. So I was like, okay, it's super annoying, but it's fine. So like that, I think, is also where people see where like you or me are now, but they don't see what it took to go through. And for me, I was like, in that decision of coming here, I was like, if I'm willing to do that, I'm not fucking holding back. I'm like all in, like burn the boats.
Exactly.
How long have you lived in Dubai now for?
It's almost 3 years now.
Okay.
Almost 3 years.
What was the first thing that drew you to Dubai from Peru?
What's the most?
What was the first thing that brought you to Dubai from Peru?
Just before pandemic, I was trying to move to another country,
Where was that?
US.
Okay.
I was trying to go to United States, but the pandemic hits, and okay, I will not be able because I don't have visa. My appointment for the visa application was end of March 2020. So since 15 March 2020, everything was closed, right? So, okay. And my application from that date goes to December 2024. So I say, oh, fuck.
Jesus. Okay.
So I start traveling once the airports open.
Yeah.
I start traveling all over the world, and I went here, into Dubai, and I say, fuck, this is amazing. This is amazing. This is way too different to Peru. Way too different to my country, to my city, because in my city the biggest building is 3 floors.
Okay. House, 3 floors.
Yeah, 3 floors. No, that's the big no. But when I moved, when I was here, I went to Bino's gym. Yeah. Bino's gym. I see a lot of content creators. I saw a lot of content creators. So that was pretty shocking for me, because in my country I was one of the 5 content creators in fitness. So in that gym everyone was content creator in fitness. So that thing, the safety reason, the taxes reasons, so a lot of things that, okay, I need to move to Dubai. That was October 2022, and I start my moving since March 2023. So it was fast as possible.
How do you think that's changed your mindset moving to Dubai?
I need to keep improving. I am not at the top of the game. I need to improve. It gives me a new fire, new motivation, because I was too comfortable in Lima, because I was doing very good money in Lima, no problem. You can make a good living with $3,000 each month. So I was very relaxed. But I think in that moment, because it was the first time I was making a lot of money, I start going each weekend to bar, because I was looking pleasure, let's say, distraction, because I was too bored, because I was making...
No challenge.
No challenge. But when I came to Dubai, I realized, oh, fuck. It's like the 2011 Anthoni.
Yeah. Restart again.
Restart again, yeah.
What would you recommend it for anyone listening to this, if they're a fitness trainer or a business owner, to move to Dubai?
Depends on how much money they are making. If they are making $1,000 a month, no. They need.
How much money do you think someone needs to make to live comfortably here as a trainer? For most people, I don't think it's worth it, because one of the big things is the tax saving.
Yeah.
So unless you're making 20K a month, you're probably not benefit from the tax.
Yeah.
Because it's very easy to spend money in Dubai.
Yes, exactly.
You can go on your phone and I want a massage. I want this from InstaShop. I want this. And you spent like $1,000 a day.
If you are very disciplined and you can live on a budget, you can come, right? But it's better to make first a good money and then you can move to Dubai.
One of the things I see as well with a lot of trainers when they move here is they get very distracted.
Yes.
Because there's so much to do, there's so much social stuff that they then don't focus on their business and the business goes down.
Exactly. They're buying things that they don't need. Yeah, that's the main thing. Because here is easy to compare to everyone. Yes.
So like one of the things that I find is it's very humbling. So like after this, if you drive down the road, you'll see some of the houses and like,
the mansions. Yeah, fuck.
like for me, I don't fucking care anymore because there's a guy who's got like 7 supercars that are all mandatory. I'm like I give up. Not I give up, but I just don't care because like you are never going to win. There is always
people that make much more money than you. That's why you need to compare only with you, but it's difficult. One thing that works for me, it is that I always in the morning, first thing in the morning, I saw a video. In that video is how was my life back then?
10 years ago.
10 years ago, yeah. So I am very good.
If you give context to things like that, I think it helps a lot.
Yeah.
What do you think is the big difference between the Spanish fitness market and the English-speaking fitness market?
The biggest difference?
Yeah.
I think the English market is more international, I feel. Because in Spanish, we know about the content creators, famous content creators, right? But it's not the same from the English market to the Spanish market. They don't know a lot of. That's the main thing, but
I wouldn't. Is it Oscar? Javi's friend in Mexican.
Oscar, yeah.
I had never known who that guy is. He's got like 6 million followers or something.
Yes, exactly.
I had no idea until Javi showed me. I was like,
yeah.
but this is where I find it funny because like, I think I know everyone in fitness, and I was like, someone's got 6 million followers. I've never heard of them. So like,
exactly.
That's the exposure I think of being in Dubai. It kind of also makes you realize how big the world is.
You have more context, right? Because my main followers, for example, are from Peru, Mexico, and Latinos in USA.
Yeah,
that's my main followers and clients.
For where you are now, what's like the main habits you have to keep you on track? So obviously you're very kind of like self-motivated to be in a position you're in. I imagine a lot of your audience look up to you for that, for being like disciplined. Is there something that you do every day that keeps you in that type of mindset, or is it literally watching that video to remind you of
yes, exactly from? I think is that video, practicing the gratitude. That's the main thing. Keeps me motivated.
Okay.
Because if you don't feel the gratitude, you easily can feel sad. Okay, and if you feel sad, you cannot perform well in your business because you are down, right? You need to be on top of
high frequency.
High frequency, exactly.
Is there anything else you do to be high frequency? I just bought an ice bath, so that's going to be my...
okay. You do.
Well, soon. I fucking hate the cold, but I've now committed and I bought one.
In my case, it's the gratitude, the writing stuff.
Yeah, I like writing.
And also I listen to Hans Zimmer.
Yeah.
Hans Zimmer music, first thing in the morning, I listen to that.
What are you doing when you listen to the music?
Writing or reading.
Okay. What I wanted to go into now to kind of finish off is going to like a couple of quick fire questions.
Okay.
So firstly, if you could only choose one, what would you choose between discipline or motivation?
Discipline, 100%. You need to be more disciplined because your motivation one day is up, the next day is down. So you need to not pay attention to your emotion, to your motivation. You need to become like a robot.
What's a daily habit you swear by for high performance?
The gratitude. That's the gratitude is the main thing. We all have something to be grateful. Despite if you don't have too much money right now, if you are facing a lot of difficulties, you always have something to be grateful. And if you find that, you feel it really, you elevate your frequency and start performing well.
Best piece of advice you've ever received as an entrepreneur?
think big and kick ass from Donald Trump.
Okay.
I remember that.
Okay. Biggest fitness myth you wish would die?
Fitness myth that, for example, you need to work 6 times a day to be in shape. Yeah, you don't need as much. You can work very good with 3 times a week. Yeah.
Define success in one sentence.
Freedom to do whatever you want, whenever you want, with whoever you want.
I'm actually going to make this a slightly longer one. If you could only have 10 exercises to train your entire body, what exercises?
10 exercises.
What would you pick?
Oh,
no rush on this one.
The first one is the barbell row. Okay. I really love the barbell. That's my favorite exercise.
Okay, so that's one.
Yeah. Barbell lunges, incline dumbbell press, lateral raises, hip thrust, bicep curl with dumbbells, overhead triceps extensions, dips. How?
2 more. You got 2 more.
2 more. Hack squat. And sumo stance and dumbbell squat.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah. Okay. And then if you had to start over from zero tomorrow, what's the first thing you do to rebuild?
Content creation. Create a lot of content, bro. This is the best time to do content creation because we are in the interest media era.
What's the one trait that separates a successful fitness entrepreneur from the rest?
Consistency and patience. You need to have a lot of patience if you want to become successful. If you don't have patience, you're fucked.
I think that's a beautiful place to finish. Big thank you today and your time.
Thank you very much, bro. Thank you very much.
Make sure you check out Anthony's socials below so you can get him up to even more millions of subscribers. If you enjoyed the podcast, please make sure you subscribe, share it with a friend, and check out the next episode on screen right now.